Hi there, this is the story of HIMS and Hers Health. Right now the market cap, as you can see, is about 10 billion and the price around $45 per share. And the most important question is, of course, if HIMS is a great investment at the current price, the current market cap. And the answer, you will find it in this box. During this video, I'll open the box and you'll find the answer here. Now, to understand my answer, you also have to look at their business and what's their potential, how much they can grow in the future. So if you look at the revenue, an amazing growth rate. They almost double the revenue year by year, from 500 million, 22, to 800, more than 800 million, 23, and then more than 1.4 billion, 24. And for the last 6 months, 2025, they report revenue around 1.1 billion. So for the full year, they might report more than 2 billion in revenue. And that's quite a lot. And more importantly, if you look at the earnings over the last 4 years, they have a loss of 65 million. Then it has reduced to 23 million. And then in 2024, they reported a profit over 100 million in earnings. And for the first 6 months, for the first half of 2025, they reported earnings about 91 million. So for the full year, they might report more than 180 million in revenue. And this is quite important because at the end, what matters are their earnings. Now, still, if you look at their market cap here, 10 billion, and their earnings, current earnings, you can see that is quite overvalued. Now maybe they have something on their balance sheet. If you look at their cash, 1.1 billion. You have 1 billion there, but also their debt is close to 1 billion. So nothing there on their balance sheet. Now, first, to value this company, their future growth rate, how much they can grow, you also have to understand their business. Most of their money comes from online pharmacy, right? They offer a digital subscription, they have recurring fees, monthly payments, where they offer medications. But here is the most important thing, they focus on specific drugs for hair loss, weight loss, dermatology. They focus on high in demand drugs, medications with high margins. People are likely to pay more for these drugs than others. I know, maybe for a cold. Price is lower compared to hair loss, weight loss, and dermatology. They also offer direct to consumer, one-time purchases on their website, and also telehealth services. So their business is quite interesting. I like that they focus only on a niche, but to grow further, to increase their revenue, they also have to switch to other products. Besides this, to sell other products. Still is good. I like that they focus on a niche. High in demand medication. Now, if you look at the revenue, yes, for the first 6 months, for the first half of 2025 was about 1.1 billion. But half of that, almost half, 449 million, was marketing. So they rely heavily on marketing. And this is like gasoline. When you no longer spend on marketing money, then the revenue won't go that much. Still, if you look at the total addressable market for HIMS, you can look at pharmacy, and also telehealth services. Telehealth services, total addressable market, about 100 billion. Quite a lot. 100 billion, compare 100 billion with the current revenue, 1.4 billion or 2 billion for the full year 2025. It's quite a lot. And then if you look at pharma, the entire pharmacy industry, 600 billion in the US. 600 billion. And from that, the online pharma is 27 billion in the US. So, is they're about to make 2 billion in 2025, their market share is close to 10% in the US online pharmacy. Now, as more people will switch to online from the physical store, this number is likely to grow more in the future. Imagine if all this physical money goes to online, 600 million to online, and HIMS maintains its position market share, then if you have 10% market share of the total size 600 billion, then ZIM can generate 60 billion in revenue. This is the potential, 60 billion revenue. And if the net margins, of course, this is just an example, net margin 10%, that means 6 billion in earnings. And if they make 6 billion in earnings, market cap can easily, more than 6x. Easily. But of course, as I said, for the moment they focus on high in demand products with high margins. As they expand more into other products, other medications, their margins won't be that high. So you may have 3 billion. But still, if HIMS delivers 3 billion in earnings, market cap in the long term, 3x can go. But this is the optimistic scenario, because you also have to be aware of competition. Because if they can't maintain their market share of 10%, then their revenue and earnings are likely to be lower. And here you have to ask yourself, what's their advantage? What is their advantage? And they spend a lot of marketing, this is an advantage. Yes, they have a nice brand, they invest a lot in it. If they continue for another 5 years, HIMS will become a good brand. But if they stop investing in marketing, that brand will get obsolete. And they will also face competition from other players. Now, the advantage I see for HIMS right now is not marketing, because everybody can do that. Everybody. Nor their telehealth services. Everybody can do that. Everybody can implement a platform, a healthcare platform. Or to fund money to invest in marketing or other areas. Everybody can do that. Now, an advantage that I see, a small advantage, is their high margins products. They focus on hair loss, weight loss, dermatology, and of course, other products. That I see as an advantage. They focus on a niche. But if they want to grow more than this level, to have a 3x, 60 billion revenue, something like that, they have to switch. They have to add other products. And the other products are likely to have low margins. So, this is the trick with HIMS. Not only face competition, but also lower margins in the future. And for me right now, with the current market cap, 10 billion, if you look at the current earnings, current revenue, is way overvalued. Maybe 6 billion. Fair valuation, 6 billion. Of course, only if they continue to grow, to increase their revenue and earnings. This would be a fair value for this company, 6 billion. And if compared with the current market cap over 10 billion, see that is way overvalued. And if you look at the stock price of HIMS, it's something like this. Up, down, up, down. So you might have the opportunity when the market cap goes to 6 billion to buy it. Of course, only if you believe in the future of HIMS, that they can maintain their market share, increase their revenue, and maintain their high margins, at least 10% or between 5 and 10%. If you believe that, then HIMS will be a great buy at 6 billion market cap. So now, to open the box and show you my answer, you can see here, the answer is no. HIMS right now is not a great investment. Of course, it also depends on your return, what return you want. If you want a return, a double in the next 3 years, 1 to 3 years, then HIMS is not the right investment right now. And it's hard to find those type of investments where you can have a double in the next 1 to 3 years. For instance, if you go to my profile, press join and choose Titan Investor, there you have access to my portfolio and you'll see my investments. They will deliver a double in the next years, 1 to 3 years, easily, at least a double. If you want to take a look, you can join my Titan Investor. Plus, you also get access to an investing course and other in-depth analysis. So, if you want to stop losing money and increase your returns, join my membership. And if you have other questions about HIMS and HERS Health, please let me know in the comments.